Good afternoon. Welcome to game one of the Vegas Sin Bin tournament, where the 16UAA Gales are playing the 16UAA Faith Lutheran Crusaders. Game being played at City National Arena. This will be the only game today for the boys, with two games tomorrow. As a heads up, I I will not be able to stream the game tomorrow morning, possibly the game tomorrow afternoon. So you will need to get a hold of friends and family during the game, or we'll need to check on the website for updated stats and scores. Boys getting ready to take the ice. All right, getting ready to kick off the second period. Sorry, the first period. Money line in with Martin and Miller at the blue line. Playing two 22-minute periods with a cut in between. Gales come away with the face-off win. But through the neutral zone, Faith Lutheran puts some pressure, and Tritton sends it across to Johnson, who couldn't hold on to it and opted to send it deep into Crusaders' zone. Creel putting pressure. This puck comes through the neutral zone. Miller able to get a body, keep the puck in play. Cash Johnson comes away with it through the middle and sends it back up on net. Goalie sends it to the side. Dunnigan in. Working low. Jennings puts some pressure. Back behind the goal line. Davis able to get a stick on it, and that'll be an icing on the Crusaders. Puck coming on back. Davis, Jennings, and Dunnigan in for offense, and O'Hara, Baldy in for defense. Davis in for the faceoff. Crusaders win it, back behind the goal line. O'Hara able to keep it in play. Davis battling, trying to get to it, sends it back deep where Jennings is there. Jennings and Davis working back behind the goal line. Jennings comes away with it. Has it pinned along the boards. Crusaders have it on the wall, try chipping it out. Davis comes in, and O'Hara sends it across. He's got Dunnigan. Dunnigan clear zone entry. Ends up losing it. And they're going to call interference. Sorry, slashing. As number 16 heads to the box for the Crusaders, and the Gales go on the first power play. Kincaid, Spancic, and Swanson, and Spancic in at center. Evan Miller and Martin in on defense. Playing 16U rules, not high school, so you cannot just dump the puck on a kill. Martin by himself sends it out to the corner along the walls, chips it out to Kincaid. Swanson able to keep it in play. Not a lot of playing the puck as Crusaders pick it up going through the neutral zone and send it deep as the Gales go back for a regroup. Martin has it back behind the goal line, sends it over to Miller. Lost, chipped up and out. And not going to be an ice as Marsh comes in hard, and puck is going to not be an icing as it hit a couple players coming through. Posner has it back behind the goal line. Looking for a passing lane. Sends it up to Shiberta. Shiberta brings it through, tries sending it across. Couldn't do anything. And Posner is going to go head back. No icing. Posner brings it back behind the net. Sends it over to Evan Davis. Shea putting pressure back along the goal line. Chipped up, and O'Hara sends it back deep, but it hits a Crusaders' legs. Loose in front. Shea unable to grab it, and that is going to be no ice. Apparently, we are playing partial high school rules, but you cannot tag up from the game I saw earlier, where OCHC beat the McKinney North Stars 2-0. Two McKinney North Stars teams in this game, or in this tournament. Again, no ice. We are free to dump the puck. O'Hara looks back. James Schmier stops the form. Just out of reach of Cash Creel. Again, no ice. Puck unable to make it. Puck's wobbly this afternoon. And puck comes back in neutral zone. Crossing pass picked up, and puck up and out of play. Sorry, folks. Missing my favorite camera woman. So I'm doing this solo. Jennings, Davis, Dunnigan, as well as Baldy and Miller. Sorry, Miller and Martin. Miller chips it up to Jennings. Jennings has it, chips along the wall and goes in. He's got Davis behind him. Shot loose in front of the net. Dunnigan crashing the net, but unable to pick it up before the goalie covered. 18:06 remaining in the first half of the game. Shots on net 3-0 in favor of Gorman. Face off in the offensive zone. Davis, Jennings, Dunnigan, Martin, and Miller. Davis wins the face off, sends it back to Miller. Miller shot, hits Dunnigan and goes wide. Dunnigan able to keep it in the zone, sends it deep. Davis going to work, back behind the goal line. Trying to get it to, it's a chipped up and out, but kept in by Martin. Martin's going to walk it up. Brings it back around behind the goal line. Looking for a passing lane. Shot! Spinning shot. Gets hit along the boards. Puck trying to get back to the point. Bounces over the stick of Davis, and Miller is there to regroup with it. Miller chips it up to Dunnigan. Jennings. Jennings able to stop it. Puck still in play in the zone. And Gales keep it in the zone. Crusaders really needing offside. Correction, they can tag up. So we are playing high school rules. As the referees let them know that they were offsides. Kincaid presses him off the puck. Comes away with it. Dangles through the middle. He's got Evan Davis. Evan Davis brings it into the zone and sends it right on net. Loose on the goal line, but covered up before Kincaid could get there. In case it wasn't mentioned earlier, James Schmier in net this afternoon as Kelly finished up the game last weekend against the Valley Thunder out of Alaska. Fresh legs on the ice. O'Hara, Baldy, Spancic, Kincaid, and I believe that's Swanson. And it is. Swanson sends it back over to O'Hara. Shot. Hits the stick and goes up and over the net. Comes back around to the blue line. Baldy has it. Shot. Hits a couple players and goes to the right of the net. Spancic putting pressure, trying to get the puck. And they're going to go ahead and say no icing. Baldy has long, sends it across to Spancic to Kincaid. Kincaid tries chipping it up. And O'Hara's going to walk it through the neutral zone as the Gales go for a change. O'Hara sends it back to the blue line. Shiberta shot just to the right of the net. Bounces back. Marsh on there. And they're going to go ahead and call this an icing. First one of the game. .16:01 remaining in the first half. Shots on net 5-0 in favor of Gorman. Crochet, Marsh. Into forwards with Shiberta. Marsh sends it back around to Crochet, but it bounces over the stick. Got Martin and Miller in on defense. Looking for a passing lane, and Crusaders up to send it up into the Gales defensive zone. Chipped up, but picked off the body of the Gales player and deflected back in. Crochet has it, loses it, and picked off. Almost picked off by Cash Tritton, as should have been an icing, but they're not going to call it. As the Crusaders go for a change, Miller is going to bring it up himself. He's got the space. He chips it over. See what he can get. Goalie able to stop it and lets it go for the Crusaders to try to get a breakout. Crusaders will stretch fast, but picked off, sent back. Spancic, a hard hit along the boards. Miller chips up. Cash Johnson able to hold on to it. Shot. Posner there. Posner there to grab it. As James sees the first shot of the afternoon. And we lost our scoreboard. Not sure if they're going to hold here. Yep, no, they're going to go ahead and do a face-off. Shot from the blue line. Up and over net and out of play. Still waiting for the scoreboard. Some technical difficulties here. Score is still 0-0 for those who joined us. Face off in the Gales defensive zone. Money line in. And Cash Creel able to chip it into the zone. And they're going to call that an icing. It's going to come back. Line change for the Gales. It's like Dunnigan, Davis, and Jennings with Posner and Evan Davis on defense. Davis in for the face-off. Crusaders come away with it. Up to send it back behind the goal line. Set up to their blue line. Hard hit behind, and they're going to go ahead and call roughing. They're going to go ahead and call roughing. And looks like Crusaders going to head down to the box. And the Gales will go on another power play. Fresh legs on the ice. On defense, it looks like we'll have Jennings, Davis, and Dunnigan, as well as O'Hara and Baldy to kick off the beginning of the power play. 12:37 remaining in the first half. Davis in for the face-off. Crusaders come away with it. Back behind the goal line. Pinned. Jennings comes away with it as the Gales try sending it out to the blue line. Jennings has it. Brings back behind the goal line. Loose in front. Davis tries backhanding, but hook check off a stick. Out to Davis, but missed him through the legs of the Crusaders player. And out of play, O'Hara coming back. And he's got Baldy for support as they go to regroup. Back out to Jennings. Jennings looks up to Davis. Davis is bringing it through the middle. But picked off. Loses an edge coming through. As Gales battle back out and stretch pass through the Crusaders. It's like a slashing and a broken stick. All right. Looks like we have a slashing penalty, Baldy, and stick flying in the air. 1:11 remaining in the power play. We're going to be playing some 4-on-4 for about 71 seconds. Face off back to the defensive zone. Martin brings it across. Brings it around. Shot. Short side. Unable to connect. And goalie's able to cover. Miller, Martin, Kincaid, and Swanson. Kincaid wins the face-off, but couldn't get to it in time. Miller sends it back in. Puck still in play. Loose out front. Swanson, Kincaid both battling, try to get it. Kincaid sends it back behind the goal line. Picked up by the Crusaders. Chipped up and out of play. Off the stick. No icing. As Kincaid picks it up through, brings it in the neutral zone. Scott Martin working on offense. Hard hit along the boards. Martin still has it. Swanson has it. Back behind the goal line. Martin still battling as a forward. Swanson sends it back to Miller. Miller winds up. Shot off the path. Loose in front. And still in play by Martin. Keeps it in. Sends it deep. Swanson with a shot on net, but covered up, and Kincaid is shoved out of the way. All right, looks like 5 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4, followed by 54 seconds. It'll be about 50 seconds, of penalty kill for the Gales. Face off in the offensive zone. Marsh, Crochet, Evan Davis, and Posner on defense. Crocheting for the faceoff. And kind of an even split on that one. Back out to the blue line. Posner plays it safe. We are now at the penalty kill. Davis tips up, gets hit along the boards, but keeps it in play. Boys need to remember they are on the penalty kill. As Crochet battles, Marsh staying back through the neutral zone. Send a pass cross ice. Picked up, though, but unable to do anything with it as the Crusaders bring it into the zone on their first power play. Puck loose in front. Unable to get a shot off. Crusaders still battling. Puck up and out of play. Again, no icing. Puck was on net as well. Change for the Gales. Tesh Creel, a hard hit. Force a errant pass. Crusaders get into the zone. O'Hara picks it back behind the goal line. He's got Miller supporting him. Tesh trying to clear the puck. Goes out to Tritton. Tritton has got Creel to his right, but picked off by the Crusaders. That is going to be offsides until they tag up. And they do. And looks like we have a tripping penalty on the Crusaders. Delayed penalty. Schmier coming out of the bench. Martin coming in. Loose in front. Covered by the goalie. But Gale's going on another power play for a tripping penalty. Player coming off the bench into the box. Money line, as well as Martin and Miller. Sorry, Baldy and Martin. Cash Johnson in for the faceoff. Martin, sorry. Cash Johnson wins it, sends it back to Martin. Martin walks it up. Shot off the goalie's stick and hits the roof of the net. And we are 1-0 in favor of the Gales with 9 minutes remaining in the first half of the game. And getting some fresh legs on offense. Martin coming off, so we have Baldy, O'Hara, Davis, Jennings, and Dunnigan. Davis wins a faceoff, brings it to the neutral zone. Got momentum. Davis opts to send it deep along the zone. Jennings is going to be the first one there. Jennings brings it around into the corner. Sends it out to the blue line. O'Hara has it. Shot off the goalie's pads and wide. No one there to regroup and grab it. And Crusaders send it back across. Jennings there to pick it up. That's still in play. Puck still in play. Dunnigan has it. Sends it over and around the boards. Jennings putting pressure. Back out to the blue line. Baldy has it. Shot. Screened the goalie, but gloved. 8:27 remaining in the first half. Crochet, Marsh, Schaberta, as well as Martin and Miller. Gales come away with it. Crochet shoots a short side to the crease. No one there to pick it up. Marsh battling. Up to send it back in and gets it. Martin looking for another one. Shot hits a player. And we have a tripping penalty. Looks like Crochet is going to be heading to the box. Make it 5-on-4. 2 minutes. Face off coming back into the Gales defensive zone. Martin, Miller, Swanson, and Spansikin for the penalty kill. 8:08 remaining as we kick off. Second penalty kill of the game. Crusaders win it. Send it into the corner. Swanson has it, just chipping it up and out. Couldn't get it out. Still in play. No offsides. Shot wide of the net, and that's going to make its way all the way down as the Gales do a defensive changeup. Evan, Davis, and Posner come in for defense. Spancic pinning back behind the goal line. Try to kill the clock. Pass coming out. into the neutral zone. Player kicks it up to himself and it is hit. Swanson has it, brings it back around behind the goal line, and not sure what we're doing here. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back. Looks like it may have been an offsides, and they didn't want to clear. Still 5-on-4, 125 remaining in the penalty kill. Penalty kill, now we have Baldy and O'Hara with Liam Marsh and Colin Davis at center. In the Gales offensive zone, 125. Davis unable to come away with it as Crusaders bring it through the zone, chip it deep, just wide of the net. And James Schmier opts to cover. Play it safe. 7:22 in the first half. Crusaders win it, send across to the blue line, shot, and James sends it out and away. And the Gales clear, no ice. Crusaders goalie comes on out, sends it back behind net, and Davis is going to go press him. Try to force a mistake. Davis is able to get there and holds it, pinning it along the board, comes away with it. Looking for opportunity, sends it back to the blue line. Martin, shot, hits a player coming through. Davis almost comes away with it again, comes back out to the blue line. Martin says no, he has it still, off the shins. And we have a 2-on-1. Player trips on his own. And Miller poke checks it, takes it away, and he's going to walk it on up. Davis staying back to cover. Creel comes in. Miller's going to try to hold it along the goal line. Crusaders try chipping it out and can't. Miller sends it back behind the goal line. Creel spreading, sent it around. Davis sends it right back. Creel trying to keep it, but battling. And sent back into play. 3 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. No shots on net. And we are back to 5-on-5 play. Money line in. And puck unable to be cleared. Loose in front of the net. The odd bounce off the stick of Posner. All right. Money line plus Evan, Davis, and Posner. Crusaders come away with it, sent back to the blue line. And couldn't keep it in play. And off to send it in. Gale sent it the other direction. Tritton in pursuit. Out of reach of Cash Johnson. Posner has it. Sends it back over to Evan Davis. Evan Davis looking for a passing lane. Sends it across. Couldn't hit Creel, but Creel, and that's going to be a penalty. All right, Creel going to be heading to the box. Players slow to get up. We're going to cut away here for a bit. All right, looks like a 2-minute penalty. Correction, looks like they went with boarding on Creel, 2 and a 10, as Cash Johnson joins Creel in the box. Stepancic Swanson in on offense, and O'Hara, and I think Baldy in on defense. Shot, loose in front, shot. James Schmier able to cover. Players need to be careful. They're going to be calling quite a bit as this picks up. Same lineup as before. Spancic going in for the faceoff. 5:21 remaining in the first half. Gales win it, tried chipping it up and out, couldn't get it. O'Hara trying to work it, but it ends up coming down low, back out front. No one there except Swanson. Swanson trying to battle and get it out, needing to clear it. Opts to bring it in the zone himself, chips it around, but picked up and sent the other direction. At this point, the boys just need to send it. Martin has it, and there it is. Oh, picked off at the center line and sent back. It's going to be offsides as the boys tag up. Miller has it, and he is pinned along the boards. Swanson working down low to support. Swanson comes away, can't get to it, and tries chipping it up. Couldn't do so. And that's going to be another call. This one on the Crusaders. We'll see if this is a 2 and a 10 or not. See what the call is here. Swanson hit along the boards, but they're going to go ahead and maybe not. We'll see. Some conversations happening here. Faceoff come back the other way. All right, looks like Marsh and Crochet in with O'Hara and Baldy at the blue line. 4-on-4 play for 1:10. Be careful for interference call there, as O'Hara sends it back around to Baldy. 4-on-4 play for a bit. Baldy brings it across. Shot. Loose in front of the net. As Crochet goes in for a poke check and folded backwards. No call, no penalty. Change up on offense and defense as Martin and Miller come in with Jennings and Davis. 4:19 remaining. .52 seconds remaining of 4-on-4 play. And then Gales will have a power play. Crusaders trying to get it through and picked up by Miller. Sent back in. Jennings works along the boards, chips it over. Martin playing up. Martin being more as a forward this afternoon. As Davis drops back on defense. Davis still battling. Chipped up and out of play. That is going to be an icing as we are on 4-on-4. Martin Miller still in, this time with looks like Tritton and Kincaid. Gales win the faceoff. Miller sends it deep, just out of reach of Kincaid as the puck comes around. Tritton is there, though. Pins, comes away with it. Right at the faceoff dot. Chips it back along the boards. Miller pinching up to get there. Miller sends it back around. 3 seconds left. 2, 1, and Johnson comes out of the box, covering the 2-minute penalty. And let's see who comes in. Gilberto comes in as the 5th man. And the Gales go on the power play. Martin in a foot race. And that is not going to be icing. Tritton brings it to the zone. He's got Gilberto shot. Just wide. Kincaid still has it. Shot off the post and just out of play. Kincaid with the hard hit. Sorry, Tritton with the hard hit. And Gales go back and regroups. Sends it back out to Gilberto. Gilberto chips it up into himself and in the zone. Dingles around. He's got a side. What? And we are 2-0. 5-hole goal. Kincaid walking it in off the boards to himself. 2-0. 2:40 remaining in the first half. All right, fresh legs on the ice. Marsh, Crochet, and Shiberta, as well as O'Hara and Posner. Davis comes in for Shiberta. Not sure what happened there. Got sent it around. Marsh battling along. Davis has it. Shot. Couldn't get enough of the stick on it and went wide. Touche still battling. Reps out in the corner. Davis picks it off, tries sending it back in. Gale's still able to keep it in play. Davis has after picking up a stick, tripping. Davis drops it back to O'Hara. O'Hara sends it wide. Davis has it again. Shot, short side, just over the net. And we are delayed penalty. And Schmier sends it coming across. And Gales unable to hold on to it, as the Gales will go for another power play. Shots on net right now, 9-9. Can't really tell, 9-5 maybe. Don't believe they're counting all of them, though. 2-0, 156 in the first half. A few too many players on the ice right now. As Swanson heads off, looks like Dunnigan, Davis, Jennings, Martin, and Miller. Davis wins the faceoff, sends it back to Martin. Or Jennings sends it to Martin. Shot, Miller, just wide of the net. Jennings unable to get there in time. Still loose, goes short side. Puck's still loose. Brings back behind the goal line, looking for a passing option. Tries going short side again, couldn't get it. Dunnigan able to regroup, sends it to Jennings. Jennings tries stuffing it short side. Jennings still has it. Sends it back out to the blue line. Martin walks up, dangles around Jennings. Davis drops back. Cover as Martin playing as a forward. Martin trying to find an option. Picked up by Dunnigan to avoid. Davis unable to grab that. Put things all the way back. 1:14 remaining. Puck goes out to. Still gonna hit the ref. Miller brings it in. He's got Davis. Short side. Backhand shot. Couldn't get there. Miller has it. Brings it into the neutral zone. 48 seconds remaining in the first half. Puck back out to Davis. Davis breaks through the neutral zone. Flicks it up to Dunnigan. Little mix up there. Davis tries for a poke check. Separates him from the puck. And looks like they're going to call another penalty on the Gales. Sorry, the Crusaders. They're going to call tripping as Davis went down. Upturned. 5-on-3 for about 35 seconds, 30 of which will be in this half, and the rest will be in the other. They will be cutting the ice in between. All right, Swanson, Kincaid, Spancic, as well as Baldy and Posner. And they're going to go ahead and stop. Not sure. Some difficulties with the clock. Oh, they only had one penalty up there. Refs are trying to work out the penalties here. There's only one of them is on the board. Looks like they just added 2 minutes to the existing penalty, and they're going to just do a better job of keeping track of it. Crusaders almost get a breakaway, but kept in play. 22 seconds remaining in the half. Puck sent back around along the boards. Baldy able to keep it in. Shot almost picked up by Swanson. Swanson sends it over to Baldy. Baldy ends up chipping it down over to Kincaid. Kincaid sends it back to the blue line. Shot. Puck just goes wide right at the end of the half, and we're going to take a little break here as they cut the ice. See you in about 10 minutes. All right, about 2 minutes left before we kick off the second half. Got the scoreboard worked out, so we are 2-0 with the Gales over the Crusaders. And there are 2 penalties on the board for the Crusaders. First one has about 4 seconds remaining on it, and the second one with a minute 50, maybe a minute 30, kind of hard to tell between the netting and the absurdly small print or font on the screen. Boys will start out for a very brief 5-on-3, go into a 5-on-4. Shots on net looks like it may have gotten reset, showing 2-0. And we know that is not the case, as the Gales have been very aggressive this afternoon, trying to keep shots on net on James Schmier in the back below double digits. Get ready to kick this off as the coaches make their way back to the bench. All right, boys are taking the ice and get a very brief warm-up. Hopefully didn't get too tight in the locker room during the cut. Typically, the refs do not let the boys have another warm-up period, so this is about all you're going to get. So time to stretch while you can. In addition to 2 22-minute halves, teams do not change sides, so you do not have a, let's say, the long change through the second period as you try to head back to the bench. Slightly different format than we're used to. Creel back in the box, finishing up a 2-10. Not sure how much time he has left. All right, shots on goal are back. Looks like we are 19-14 in favor of the Gales. I apologize. They are into double digits, as the Gales work hard to keep the pressure up. All right, we're going to kick off the second half. Slightly different lineup. Kincaid filling in for Creel. So other than Cash Creel, we have the money line out there, as well as Martin and Miller. Refs trying to get everybody back in the box who belongs in the box. And at center ice, so we can kick off the second half. Again, as a reminder, we're going to kick off in the 5-on-3 for, now it says 4 seconds, was 5. Coaching situation on the Faith Lutheran side, trying to figure out who's going to go in as third. Nope, they're going to bring out 4. One's got to go back. I'm going to try this again. All right, Gales win the face-off. Cash Tritton sends it over to Martin. Martin is bringing it up. Shot. Goes to send it deep in the shot, but it looks like, who is it? Kincaid had it. Shot, hit the pads and wide. Miller tried to set it back up. It's loose in front of the net. At the feet. And Johnson is battling along, trying to get it. Goes around Martin. Miller there to regroup. Back at the goal line. 5-on-4 now. 1:05 remaining as Miller brings it through the center. Jumps around. And he's going to bring it into the zone. Got Tritton back at the blue line. Poke check off. Tritton's unable to get it. Chipped up and out. And Martin's going to need to go back. No icing. Martin. Ice is not quite set. Martin battling along. Chips it up to the blue line. But Gales are unable to get it. 37 seconds remaining in the power play. 21:06 and a half. 2-0 Gales. Line change up. Dunnigan, Jennings, Davis, as well as Baldy and O'Hara. Face off center ice. Lutheran comes away with the face off, but Baldy picks off a hard hit. Davis picks it up, brings it through the neutral zone. Davis chips it up for himself, but can he get there in time? The answer is no. I'll come back over to net. Schmier sends it wide. Just out of reach of Jennings. Sends it out to Davis. Davis working through the neutral zone, diggles around. Dunnigan still in. Davis chips it into the corner, back behind, along the boards. Davis going to get it himself. Davis and Jennings working. Jennings looking for a passing option. Jennings goes down. Davis trying to battle. Dunnigan. 2-on-2 as Crusaders bring it in. Shot off the pads. James Schmier wide. Dunnigan let Jennings tripped up. And Miller sends it into the neutral zone. Miller chips playing catch here. And it's going to be offsides. Base off the neutral zone. Looks like Marsh, Crochet, and Shaberta. Gales won the faceoff, send it up through the center. Crochet couldn't get to the corner in time. Marsh trying to keep it pinned low. And puck out of play. Shipped around Martin. Shot off the pads. Schmier picked up by the Gales, sent back around. Miller to Martin. Martin walking it up to the neutral zone. Tied up on his way through. No penalty. O'Hara battling. Posner gets it though. And also send it back around the net. Now to Marsh. Marsh has it and sends it through the neutral zone. Picked up by the Crusaders. O'Hara has it. He's going to bring it in himself. Scales go for a change. O'Hara has it at the goal line. Looking for a passing option. Tries sending it center. But picked off. Swanson gets a poke check and comes away with it. Crusaders able to get it out. And Posner chasing back through. Looks like we have a penalty on the Gales. And the Gales will go on penalty kill. Looks like O'Hara will make his way to the box with Creel. Still a few more minutes on his penalty. On the 2 and 10 for boarding. Spancic, Kincaid. Sorry, Spancic coming in. It's like Kincaid and Miller and Swanson and Baldy. Kincaid changing out for Spancic. Spancic coming in to the faceoff. Lutheran wins it. Shot wide of the net. Puck sent wide. Baldy almost comes away with it. Short side. Picked off, though. Trying to clear. Couldn't get it. Miller battling along and into the corner. Offs to pin it. And shovel pass it out to the blue line. Picked up. Shot. Off the pad. James Schmier. Miller has it. And offs to sling it around the boards. See if they can get it out. And they do. Puck's in the neutral zone. And Swanson almost picks it up. But Miller does. Swanson has it. Chips it back into the offensive zone. Puck's still in play as Miller battles. And flicks it down deep. Shea comes in. Shea has it. Looking for a short side shot. Hits a stick and goes up and over as Pancic comes off. And it looks like Marsh is in. Shea. Marsh picks it up along the boards. Shot just to the right of the net. Miller tries to send it in, but picked up. Hard hit by Baldy. Puck up and out of play. 46 seconds remaining, and that'll be a hand pass. Stop to play. Lines changing up. Looks like we got Martin, Posner, Jennings, and Colin Davis taking the face-off in the neutral zone. 17:25 remaining in the second half. Davis wins the face-off. Puck comes back to Martin. Martin off send it across, off the pad of the goalie and wide. Davis putting pressure just outside the net. Davis trying to keep him pinned. Pass out. Just getting into the neutral zone, but Davis picks it off. Davis sends it back in on net. Loose in front. Jennings is coming in as the goalie was not able to hold on to it or send it outwards. And going to change things up on offense again. It's looking like we're going to have Johnson and Tritton in. Face-off in the Gales' offensive zone. Martin, Posner. The blue line. Crusaders come away with it. 20 seconds remaining in the power play or the side of the penalty kill. Martin tries to kick it himself, but it goes wide. Martin gets there first. Shrugs off the forward, and he comes away with it. Sends that out to Tritton. Tritton unable to get there in time. And Posner off sling it around. 2 seconds left. Walks along the blue line. Shot up and wide of the net. It's players on the way through. It's loose in front and cleared. Would have been an icing, but goalie played it. Schberta puts some pressure. Johnson and Tritton in there. Johnson working back behind the goal line. Looking for a center pass to Tritton. Tritton shot. Loose in front. Schberta angles around, and Schberta finishes it to make it 3-0. 16-14 remaining in the second half. Shots on net, 22-17 in favor of the Gorman Gales. Shot from Tritton off the pads of the goalie, just to the right of the net, and Schberta picks it up. Fresh legs coming on the ice. It's like Dunnigan, Davis, and Jennings on the defensive side. We will have, wait for it, Martin and Posner. Davis wins the face-off, but loses it through the neutral zone. Davis picks it off. Shot, sends it over to Jennings. Jennings has it, brings it back behind the goal line. Opts to send it over to Davis. Davis working down low. Sends it back up to the blue line. Martin couldn't get a shot off. And we have a 2-on-1 as the Gales go to back check. Crusaders unable to send it across. And Martin dingles around. Tries setting it back up. Martin sends it. Hits the glass back behind the goal line. Pass puck back out to Davis. Davis unable to grab a hold of it. Shot. And James gloves it. Because James is the man. 15:29 remaining in the second half. 3-0 for the Gales. 22-17 shots on net. Face-off in the Gales' defensive zone. Kincaid taking the face-off with Swanson and Stefancic. Stefancic sends it over. A little miscommunication on who's going to grab it. Puck comes back out to Frank Stefancic. Stefancic walks it through. Looking for a shot window. Sends it. Almost comes out to Kincaid. Miller unable to hold it. Flicks it in, and the boys tag up. And Kincaid first man in. Swanson and Stefancic in with O'Hara and Miller. Miller brings back behind his own net. Miller's going to bring it up himself. Miller hungry to get a goal. He's been bringing it in deep. Swanson unable to get it at the goal line. Kincaid shot short side at the feet of the goalie and covered. Cash Johnson. Sorry, not Johnson, Cash Creel. Too many Cashes growing on trees, but Cash Creel out of the box. Crochet, Marsh, and Shiberta, as well as Evan Davis and Baldy. Puck comes out to Baldy. Baldy winds up, sends it over to Davis instead. Evan Davis shot, and goalie sends it wide. Baldy able to keep it in at the blue line, kicks it in, sends it back up to Shiberta. Shiberta walks along the blue line, but poke checked off, and Evan Davis opts to send it up to prevent a breakaway the other direction. Crochet working right behind the net. Marsh goes in for a hit. Puck's loose, and a Baldy coming in hot. Almost gets one off there. Evan Davis sends it back deep. Crochet by himself behind the goal line. And Baldy sends it back around, trying to keep them pinned in their zone. 13:52 remaining. Sends out to the center. Marsh with a centering pass. No ice, as it was sent out by the Gales. And James Schmier says, I want to do something too. Since round defense loses it, though, through the zone, but picked up and brushed off it. And Marsh has a breakaway. If he can get there, he's got the speed. He's got the distance. Shot. Goal! 2 players on him. Still gets the shot off the stick of the goalie and up to the top of the net to make it 4-0 now for the Gales. Pass chipped up as Marsh goes unassisted all the way up and out into the zone. Johnson, Creel with Tritton. Gales win it. Back in the zone, couldn't hold on to it, and sends out to Tritton. Tritton can't get there in time. And they're going to go ahead and say that that is an intentional offsides, and they're going to bring that back to the Crusader side of the ice. Creel, fresh out the box. Posner, Martin on defense. Hard hit, no call, as he had the puck. A few unhappy parents nearby. Pass back out to Martin, resting as a forward. Trip, but kept in. But Tritton has it. Shot loose in front of the net, and eventually covered. And cross-checking. James out of center ice, asking if the boys need assistance. James ready to do something as he's getting bored as Creel goes back, and we will have, let's see here. Creel in. He was shoved into the goalie, and it looks like Martin in. We got 3 for the Crusaders, 2 for the Gales. Let's try to find out the count here. Right now we have 4 Gales on the ice. We're going to do we're going to change things up again. Possible 5-on-5 or 4-on-4, 4-on-3. How many can we fit in the box? 1, 2, 3 Crusaders. As the refs try to sort this one out, the goalie's face mask or helmet came off in the scrum as fists were thrown. .56 remaining. And I can only imagine this is going to get more interesting as the afternoon goes along. Let's see how we're going to do this. Getting them tallied up on the Lutheran side. Ref talking to O'Hara and Jennings and a Lutheran player. And something else. Looks like the coach for Faith Lutheran is being asked to leave the facility. And he will exit stage right. And looks like a Lutheran player. Wait. Lutheran player coming out of the box. Don't know if he's going to the locker or to the bench. It's going to take a while to untangle here. Coach exiting the building. So it looks like we have 2 players in the box now for both teams. As they try to sort out the math. Great game for the Gales so far. My personal favorite highlight was James Schmier coming out to the blue line, ready to provide some support at the other crease. All right. And more conversations happening. Go ahead and mute the mic for a little bit as they try to figure this out. So YouTube doesn't ban me for playing music. Oh, actually, wait, we got a 3rd player now for the Gales going in the box. Tritton's going to join them. All right. Could almost get an indication it's whoever is the last one to talk to the ref gets the power play. All right, door is open. Looks like Creel is being sent off the ice. For the penalty of getting shoved into the goalie. And Gorman referee looking for coach looking for an explanation. Almost there. The indication, so we're going to be back to 5-on-5 after all of this. So, all right, 5-on-5. Player ejected for the Gales. No, 5-on-4. Puck's coming out the neutral zone. Player ejected for the Gales, and a coach ejected for the Crusaders. Crochet and Marsh in for the 5-on-4, and we have Miller and Posner in on defense. They're trying to work on the boards, and they're still talking. Pass out wide, out through the neutral zone, into the zone, unable to be picked up by Lutheran. Puck trying to be cleared by Miller, and out to the neutral zone. Scales get the clear. Shea forces a bad pass, and Marsh sends it deep. Shea, again, working down in the zone. Swanson comes in and picks it up. As Miller walks in, they're letting him have it, and he gets a shot off with almost no pressure from the team with the power play. All right. 20 minutes later, we are still 12-13 in the second half. 1:17 remaining in the penalty kill. Faceoff's going to be in the Gales offensive zone. Spancic in. And Gales with the faceoff, sends it back to Evan Davis. Evan Davis winds up, hits a stick, and deflected. And Lutheran goes on the rush. Poke checked, taken away. As try to get the clear, and it's stuck, hit the ref, and out of play. 1:04 remaining in the penalty kill. They're going to go ahead and put this one back in the defensive zone. Spancic in for the faceoff. Got Swanson on the board as well. Lutheran wins it, sends it back out. Shot, and Swanson gets it. Swanson got his legs in there to deflect it and had a breakaway the other direction. O'Hara wasn't able to hold it in, so ball is going to be battling back behind the goal line and comes away with it. And he flicks it up out to Spancic, who couldn't get it out. Puck's back behind the goal line. As Baldy goes, hits the glass, and sends it. 32 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Fresh legs on the ice. Shiberta and Kincaid. Shiberta worked behind the goal line. Almost picked off by Kincaid. And Crusaders sent back out to neutral zone to be picked up. And O'Hara decides to send to Kincaid. Kincaid's going to go ahead and take it on a shorthanded goal. Gives a shot off, hits player. Picked off again by Shiberta and sent back deep as the Gales keep them pressured in their zone, shorthanded. Shiberta battling. O'Hara pinches up, keeps it in, and we are back to 5-on-5 play. It's like Martin is still in the box. Upturn, no penalty. Stick lift by Kincaid. And they're able to clear, and that's going to go to Shiberta. Shiberta has it at the blue line. Shot loose. Pancic charging in, but unable to get there in time. Fresh legs coming up. Jennings, Dunnigan, Davis, as well as Miller and it's like Evan Davis. Face off in the Gales' offensive zone. 10:29 remaining in the second half. Davis into the face-off. And they're going to wait a minute. So some players that need to back up a little bit. Oh, 6 players for Faith Lutheran. Faith Lutheran wins the face-off and send it around the boards. Evan Davis unable to grab a hold of that one. And 2-on-1 the other way. Shot over the net. Wide. Puck loose. Almost able to be kept in, but puck over into the corner. So go to chip it up to Jennings. Jennings tries getting up to Davis, but couldn't do so. Turned back around and sent back in. Jennings battling to get there. Puck sent deep, and that's going to be an icing. It's going to come back over to Faith Lutheran defensive zone. Tritton. Tritton, Marsh, and Johnson, as well as O'Hara and Posner. Gales win it. Posner has it, sends it back around the boards to Cash Johnson. Cash Johnson has it. Isn't able to come away with it. Puck comes up. We've got a 3-on-2 odd man rush in favor of the Crusaders. Shot. Posner deflects it up and out, hits the glass, still in play as O'Hara sends it over to Marsh. Marsh couldn't get there in time, and no icing. He could have played it and didn't. Tritton trying to get a poke check in as it says hello and goodbye. And O'Hara battling, chips it up to Tritton. Tritton trying to chip it up, but picked off as the Crusaders send it deep. Posner to O'Hara. O'Hara to Tritton. Tritton to Johnson. Clean zone entry. Johnson ends up backhanding it into the zone where Marsh is there to pick it up. But it picked off before we can get there. Tritton still battling. Hard hit. Boys tag up. Puck still in the show, still live. Baldy with a hard hit. Baldy has it. Bring it through. And he wants it himself. Jumps around. Flipped up and out. And Miller tried bringing it in, but they got him for playing that when he should have just sent it deep. Boys playing a very great game overall. 4-0 with 8:40 remaining. Spancic, Crochet, Shiberta, as well as Miller and Evan Davis face off in the neutral zone. Crochet for the face off. Crochet wins it, sends it back to Miller. Miller says, I'm going to send it over to the goal. Bounce off the wall. Shiberta unable to get there first. Kept in and out. Spancic goes in for a hard hit, separating for the puck. Loose in front. Trying to get some bodies in there. Miller comes away with it back to the goal line. Sends that to Shiberta. Shiberta brings it through. He's got one already. Sends it over. Brinke sends it back behind the goal line. Boucher has it. Boucher looking for a passing option. Sends it over to Evan Davis, who sends it back deep. Slings it around. Posner pinched up, and he's playing high. And bouncing puck, Swanson came in, bounced right to him. We got a shot off, little knuckle puck, but stopped and covered. It's like Swanson's going to hang out there on the ice. And we have Davis and Kincaid in, as well as Evan Davis and Posner. 7:52 remaining in the second half. Davis in for face-off in the offensive zone. Lutheran wins it. And the stretch pass picked off. And James Schmier sends it wide. Davis sends it back out to the defense, back to the blue line, and chipped back in. Still in play. Posner has it back behind the goal line. Off to sling it around to Kincaid. Kincaid trying to send it to the center, who wasn't there. That would be my child. And picked up by defense. Defense is going to bring it up. Chips it over to Swanson. Swanson brings it in. Shot. Bouncing puck. And gloved. All right. Gilberta, Johnson, Tritton, Baldy, and O'Hara. 7:08 remaining in the second half. And Gales come away with it, but it was picked off on the way to defense. Baldy worried about getting offsides. Opted to come back, but Gilberta sends it deep for a dump and chase. Johnson trying to keep it pinned back behind their goal line. Still in play, but out. Puck back out to Gilberta. Gilberta sends it over to Tritton. Tritton shot, sent it on net, because why not? O'Hara's going to pinch up. Couldn't pin it in time. And kicked over to Baldy. Baldy sends it up. Unable to be grabbed, and we're going to call that an icing. Call an icing before anyone gets hurt. 2 Crusaders players still in the box, serving what appears to be 10-minute penalties, as well as 1 Gorman player. Boucher, Miller, Evan Davis, Marsh, and looks like Kincaid. No, Gilberta. Miller has it. Sends it over. Can't quite sure if it's going to Marsh or not. Marsh sends it back to Evan Davis, but he couldn't hold it. Walked along the blue line, but poke check should not have been an offsides, as it didn't clear the line. And understandably, Crusaders feeling robbed on that one. Martin still serving the penalty from earlier on the scrum. Davis, Jennings, Dunnigan, Miller, and Evan Davis. Davis wins it, sends it back to Davis, and sent deep. Colin Davis first one in, going into the corner. Evan Davis keeps it in play. Colin Davis trying to dangle around, getting held along the boards. Dunnigan has it, walks it up. It's shot loose, not the pad. Jennings gets in there, and he's holding it. Sends it back out to Evan Davis. Evan Davis tries to get a shot off, hits the legs, and pucks him back the other way. Evan Davis picks it up and sends it deep, and the boys are getting back to work, back behind the goal line. Puck coming through the neutral zone. Shot. James Schmier sends it wide. The boys getting tangled up left and right. Back out to O'Hara. O'Hara decides to shovel it up. Dunnigan has it, but that's going to be offsides. Boys trying to play safe. No more penalties. All right. Kincaid, Zapancic, and Swanson with O'Hara and Posner. Lutheran wins the faceoff, sends it back into the zone, but stopped by O'Hara and chipped up. Zapancic has it. Tripped up. Sorry, folks. Crusaders going for a stretch pass. They're lifted up, and they're going to go ahead and call Posner on tripping. Or not. Arm was up. All right. O'Hara back behind the board, back behind the net. Chips it on over. Kincaid trying to send it deep, unable to get full contact with it. Spancic has it, chips around to himself, chips through the legs, and brings it in the zone, chips it back behind the goal line. Playing a lot of dump and chase, trying to keep it pinned, kill the clock. Pass picked off by Swanson twice in the same rush. Puck back out to Miller. Miller, wait for it, and he's going to go ahead and send it. And actually, he backed up a little too much, giving them the icing. Puck's going to come on back to the defensive zone. 4:13 remaining in the second half. Shots on net, unofficial. 27 and something. I can't see, but it's in the teens. Yale's unable to clear, and Crusaders send it deep. Miller has it back behind the goal line, trying to find a good outlet pass. Out to Marsh. Marsh to Johnson. Johnson brings it through, stick lifted and taken off. Back behind the goal line. Tritton's still battling, though. Trying to keep it. Got Marsh and Tritton both. Puck flicked out to Baldy. Baldy sends it back deep. Be careful of the slashing call. The caches, the remaining caches, battle, and they're going to go ahead and call a penalty on a cache. Not sure which one. And no, sorry, a Marsh. Nope, it's a cache. Looks like Tritton will head to the box. Looks like a roughing penalty. All right, 3:35 in the second half. 4-0. Marsh goes in for a 2-minute penalty. Martin's still in the box, and the other players for the Lutheran still in the box. There's two in there. Shot loose in front. Deflected and sent around. James playing an amazing game right now. Swanson chips it up and out of play. No icing because we are on the penalty kill. Spancic, hungry. He's looking for a shorty. Putting in pressure. It's a foot race through the neutral zone. Up. And Swanson has it. And he opts to send it deep. Try to force a mistake. Back behind the goal line. Pass almost picked off by Crochet. It's coming through the center. As they try to set something else. They decide to shoot it. Almost chipped. But James there with the toe to save it. Bad pass on the Crusaders. And Puxton comes all the way back up to net. Goalie whiffs on trying to sending it deep. As Crochet continues battling. Miller and Baldy, and Miller goes in for a poke check. Couldn't get there. It's at the feet of Baldy. Baldy shovels it backwards and into the neutral zone. And Dunnigan now in. Dunnigan uses body to stop it. He's got it. Shot. Short side. Loose in front of the net. Still trying to continue. And Lutheran not happy. Lutheran not happy because he was about 8 feet from the crease and sends the players on their way. It looks like Jennings and Colin Davis will come in, as well as Posner and O'Hara. We are back to five. No, not 5-on-5. Too many players. Dunnigan heading back out because he just finished a long shift. Great shift. Davis loses the faceoff, but picks it back up behind the goal line. Davis with the poke check. Jennings unable to get there. Chip back up to Jennings as Faith Lutheran goes for breakaway. Puck in the neutral zone. O'Hara is going to walk it up, sends it deep, and Davis is going in pursuit. Davis couldn't get there in time. Davis comes on out. And wasn't just my kid, there's a bit of a soft spot over there. Jennings kicks it back behind the goal line. Jennings says, I want some. And he brings it over. Puck gets pulled off. Boys not trying to be too aggressive. 1:35 remaining in the second half. Davis able to keep it in the zone as Jennings sends it back deep. And Johnson now playing deep. Too many men. Oh, we're back to 5-on-5. And they're going to go ahead and say it's too many men anyways. played the puck slightly too early. Let's see who's going to go in and serve this one. Puck's going to come on back. 4-0. Minute 20 remaining in the second half as someone who was on the ice. He's ahead to the bench. And Davis is back on the ice with Marsh. Someone's got to go to the box. Looks like Tritton's going to the box. Davis couldn't get the face-off. Shot off the face-off. Loose in front. As Baldy brings it through the neutral zone. Marsh still battling. Davis gets a poke check in, but loose. Baldy has it. Tries to send it out. Goes out. Davis picks it up through neutral zone, but he is poke check. Davis still battling along. Davis is going to opt to just hold it. Tries to get it back to the defense. Couldn't do so. Davis sends it to Marsh. As Marsh sends it deep. Davis needs to get off the ice. And he does not. Goes in for a poke check. Marsh has it. Marsh sends it back up. Davis trying to get a poke check to the neutral zone. Davis with a hit. But the Crusaders have it shot wide of the net. 30 seconds remaining. Miller has it. Miller, clear, please. And he does. It's on net because you never know what you're going to get. Gales trying to pick off the stretch pass. Couldn't do it. And puck still in play in the defensive zone. 13 seconds remaining. Trying to get the shutout. Loose in front. And 8 seconds. If he wants something, he's got to do it soon. 3, 2, 1. Wide and shutout win for the Gales. After some altercations happening in the corner, they were not happy with Goucher. All right. Gales come away with a shutout win over Faith Lutheran. 4-0 in a fairly dominating performance. Not sure if they're going to let them line up on this one to avoid issues. Nope, they're not going to be shaking hands this evening. A few players will head to center ice and do their own thing, but nothing official. All right, so that puts us overall between league play and tournaments. Gales are now up 2-1 in the series. Game tomorrow morning. For those who were not here at the beginning of the game, I will not be able to stream the game tomorrow due to prior commitments. And then looks like I will not be able to stream the afternoon game either. First game against McKinney's AA team, second game against McKinney's A team. However, I will for sure be streaming the Sunday morning game over at American First Center against OCHC, which is a different team than last weekend. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. And if anything changes, go ahead and keep an eye out for streams. I'll stream everything I can. Have a good night. Talk to you later.